Good morning, and welcome to Door Chronicles. We're at the front door. Okay, sorry. You guys know how much of a kick I get out of that whole... Yeah. Alright, so real quick, and as you guys know, this is a little early for me to do Door Chronicles, but this was just really on my heart. It's been on my heart all night. I want to talk to you guys today about self-injurious behavior. If you saw my post last night, you guys know my book is out, and my mom ordered my book. I specifically said to her, Mom, don't read the book. Just don't read the book. There are certain things that we never need to know that our children went through. It's just certain things we just don't even need to know because that's still our baby. You know, and I know as a mom of adult children, I would never want to know that about my children. I just would not. And with that being the case, I told her, I said, Mom, do not read the book. If you want it, just so that you have my first book, order it, but do not read it. My mom being who she is. Good morning, Erica. I miss you so much. I said, don't read the book. She read the book anyway. And then when she ended up upset about it, I refused to talk about it. And the reason I refused to talk about it is, again, at some point, you're injuring yourself. At some point. And I got thinking about ways that we injure ourselves, not even what other people do to us, but what we do to ourselves. When we stay in these toxic relationships, when we stay in friendships that have already passed their expiration date, you are injuring yourself. You're doing that to you. They're not doing that to you. At that point, you have decided that you are going to do it to yourself. How many times have you had a friend or had somebody in your life where you say, all they're doing is using me? Or all they're doing is mistreating me, or the only time I hear from them is when they need something. At that point, honey, that's not them doing it. That's you doing it to you. You ever have that person in your life that you're always trying to be there for? Every time they go through something, you are there to listen. You are there to console them and comfort them. But when you need something, you can't find them. At that point, honey, that's not them doing it to you. That's you doing it to you. I hear so many times people talk about their relationships and how, Eric, I definitely hope you come and see me soon. But I hear people talk about their relationships and how, this relationship no longer serves them. Here's what I know. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage, any of that. The concept of 50-50 is a lie. It really is. Because here's what I know. Here's how people really should come up with that 50-50. You're going to have times where you're giving 80 and they're giving 20. You're also going to have times where they're giving 30 and you're giving 30 and they're giving 70. And that's how the dynamic works. And by the time it's all over, said and done, you come up with 50-50. But it's rarely ever that complete give and take at that same time. So when I say that, at what point are you going, when you realize that you are always giving 70 and they are always giving 30, you are injuring yourself. You are doing that to you. They're not doing it to you. You're doing it to you. That's it. I hear people talk about all the drama in their life and how this keeps coming up and that keeps coming up. At what point are you welcoming that into your life? At what point do you decide where you need to draw the boundary and say enough is enough? I know me. I've never really been one. I've not ever been good at listening to people. I was one of those people that when I was younger, if you said, Shay, do not walk across that street and don't jump across that little creek, because even though it looks like it's not a far jump, it is. I had to go and test that theory. I needed to know because maybe you were wrong. Maybe your legs don't work as good as mine. It could be anything, but I always had to go and try for myself. I fell in those creeks a whole lot of times because I needed to know for myself. At that point, I had already been warned. I had already been told not to do it, and if I did it anyway, that's not on anybody else but me. So, again, let's pay attention to the self-injurious behaviors that we have. At what point, those little hurts, honey, those are cuts. And whether or not you're really taking a knife or a razor and cutting yourself, those little emotional hurts are indeed cutting you. You, at some point, when you know that the situation is wrong and you know that that's not somewhere you need to go, that's not them, honey, that's you. You got to take responsibility for yourself. You got to take responsibility for what you allow in your life. If you are letting things come into your life that does not serve you, Honey, that's not other people, baby. That's you. And here's what I know, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to be done. Only do you realize that the main people out here trying to fix people are people who are broken themselves? I'm going to say it again. The main people out here trying to fix other people are broken themselves. It is easier for them to fix you. It is easier for you to fix them than it is for you to fix you. And the first place that you need to start in fixing yourself is understand when you are indulging in self-injurious behavior. All right, that was my Front Door Chronicles for today. You guys have an awesome and blessed day. Yeah, that's it. Nope, ain't got nothing else. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.